this episode of 5 common pull-down mistakes. Ugh, son of a. But that's not one of the mistakes. But there are 5 common mistakes that you guys are making that I'm still seeing you guys making. Not you guys, maybe you specifically. But I'm seeing you guys making mistakes, and we're gonna go over it again to make sure that those new viewers out there can clean up their pull-down act. Clean damn act up. First up on the list, guys, is setup. The setup. As the saying goes, fail to prepare, preparing to fail. Well, there's one for back as well too. If your setup's jacked, you're gonna F your back. Let it sink for a bit. But in all seriousness, it's the setup that is going to determine sometimes or most of the time how well your set's actually gonna be. So you've probably seen a couple of guys go into the set, they're in there, a couple of girls, I don't care, girls and guys, whatever you wanna call it, and they can't wait to back. They just come in there like this. And they just start, they're gone, and they're, the legs might be this way, they may be out like here, their feet are, I don't know, they're back this way, they're all the way under this way. It's all about the setup. So number 1, we're gonna do, again, floor to core. Get into your machine. Whether it's a cable lat to pull down machine or it's one of these pull down machines, it's gonna have this part here for your thighs, and it's gonna have this part here for your feet. Feet, thighs. Right? So when we're setting up, a couple of things first. Get yourself in, make sure this thing is where it needs to be. So easy thing to do is just get yourself in right away. And then my feet may be here because they are, or on the ground, doesn't matter. But obviously this isn't where it needs to be. So now I can push this down onto my quads. Now, there might be a little bit more room in here. That's okay. The setup is gonna involve a couple things. We're gonna lock ourselves in this position by, when we do start, we're gonna put a little pressure on the quads. We're either gonna elevate our feet like this, or if it's just like this, again, here in this machine, then I'm gonna set myself here and put this down based on this. So now I'm super tight. Reason being is when this has weight on, we want to create tension or leverage by pushing our toes into the ground, which is going to give us a lot more tension on the pad and more force here to keep our butt locked in. What happens is someone's in this thing too light, they put on too much weight, they're down here, and the butt comes off, and goes back down and comes off, and goes back down. A little bit of exaggeration, but to avoid that, again, making sure we're set up in here, we're in tight, this pad is on our thighs, and then you're gonna put pressure into that pad, so when we are pulling down, we're firm from here. The butt doesn't move, it stays on the pad. Now setting up well too, we wanna make sure landmarks. Now if we're in a cable pull down machine, you wanna make sure that the cable is sitting directly underneath your chest. You don't want to be so close like this that when you're pulling, you gotta literally go back like this for it to come down. And you don't wanna be too far away this way, so that when you actually do the pull, you're pulling in front like this. So you wanna make sure you line yourself up so you're basically directly underneath the line of pull. Same thing is gonna apply with this machine. If I sit here like this, underneath where the pull's gonna come, look what happens. I'm directly underneath. I'm not here, I'm right here underneath, and when I'm pulling, it's very natural. Your setup is gonna be one of the deciding factors of how successful your set is gonna be. Make sure you have a good setup. Yeah, what's up guys? A lot of you guys watched the video, but you're not subscribed, so do your boy a favor, subscribe to the channel, and hit that post notification button as well too, so next time I put a video out, you'll be the first ones to get it. And hopefully by now you guys like the video, so if you do, hit the like button. And also, grab my ebook, it's in the description. Final Diet, get it now. Don't miss out. Back to the show. Number 2 on that is hyperextension. Now I can wrap these next few mistakes up in one by just saying engage your core, but I'm just gonna give you guys a reason why we want to avoid hyperextension, what that actually looks like. Hyperextension of the spine. Here is extension of the spine. Right now, my spine is flexed, and I can flex my spine, my L spine, which is the lumbar spine, my T spine, which is my thoracic spine, and my C spine is my cervical spine. All those things flexed looks like this. Like someone just turned the off button on. Just click power and this, there you go. This is me inactively flexed. Me flexing my spine actively or engaging my core. Engaging my core is gonna pull my T spine and L spine down like this. Flexing my traps or elevating my traps or engaging them is gonna help flex this way as well too. So here I'm in a flex position. Extension is just getting to the opposite of that, which would be here. This is extension. Hyperextension is this. Just joking, that's not hyperextension. Hyperextension is being in an extended position and then crossing that barrier or plane to here. This is hyperextension. Hyperextension is gonna put a lot of pressure on all of my discs. And I'm not talking CDs, because they're all too young for CDs. You got MP3s, right now you just buy them off online and stuff. You don't got any discs. I have discs. CD discs. Either way, you're gonna compress all them discs. And we don't want disc compression, all right? We don't want to compress your discs, because what happens is we have two lines of force. We have the great line of force right here that you created by your great setup. And then we have your other set of force by the weight on this thing here. So what's gonna happen when you pull it down? If we hyperextend, this is what's gonna happen. Pray for me. We get this, right? And right now, my range of motion kind of got cut short. And the only place I feel this right now, as much as I'm literally depressing my shoulders, keeping things down, I only feel this in my effing spine. This sucks. And I'm doing it for you guys, because I care about y'all. But we don't want to be there. The difference is we want a neutral spine. We want a neutral spine. So if you are gonna do some type of hinging, it comes from the entire torso staying active. And then if you're gonna go back, it does this, not this. We want this. Is the difference? You guys see the difference between this and this? Now, how does that actually work? Well, again, the opposite of extension is flexion. And what's gonna create flexion? You got it. Tighten that core. Now, what I mean by tightening the core or bracing the core or flexing your abs, I mean just that. Analogy again, it's been a long time since I did one of these videos. For you new viewers out there, check it out. Some of you might know is one of the little pranksters that's always going around being like, hey, what's up, bro? And smacking the stomach, That guy, you're gonna think is always around you in the gym, and you're gonna have this tense core the entire time. Tense meaning you're going to engage your core. Here's a cool thing you can do. Say the word push or say the word pull. If I say, put my hand here and here and say push or pull, I'm gonna feel my abs and my erectors push, pull, push, pull. I'm gonna feel them tense at the same time. So my thing is make the P last longer. So push, pull, and that's gonna keep my core engaged. Don't do a vacuum. Please don't do a vacuum. If you're about to fight somebody and you're doing vacuum poses and you get tapped in the stomach, see Houdini, that's it for you. In order for us to get away from hyperextension, we are going to engage the core, which is gonna keep us neutral. And that's gonna bring us on to common mistake number 3. 3 languages in one. Only thing I know in those 2 other languages, no big deal. Roll in the back. How does roll in the back happen? Well, a couple things happen. Flexing the core, setup, and engaging the traps. That's gonna be also point number 4. Point 3 and 4 are together. We get into the weight, seen that before. Yo, John, I worked on a couple things here. I said, dude, I got my setup's good. I'm back where I need to be. You know, I'm engaging my core, I'm in, but then I get to that hard set, that hard rep, and all of a sudden I'm doing this. You're trying to pull down with all your might. And this is what you look like. This is what a lot of people look like. And I'll tell you why, and this is so you guys don't feel bad about it. There is a fight or flight response our bodies will do no matter what if you are not aware. As soon as you hear something, pop, pop, people, shit, they do this. You get scared, you freeze, you do this. Fight or flight is basically that. Fight is this, opening up. Most people from day one, their environment encourages the flight response, the physiological changes of you literally doing this. So when you're in a gym setting, the reason why you see most of the time people's form get messed up, they look like this, when they're pushing things off of them, Your body doesn't know the difference between you bench pressing or throwing a tiger off your chest, right? Your body doesn't know the difference between you doing a pull-up or you just fell off a freaking cliff and you're trying to pull yourself up. It's gonna find the best way to pull yourself up. And if I'm falling off a cliff, I'm like, shit! You're not like, good form. Nah, it's doing this. You pull yourself up. Get yourself to the top of this thing and then you're finally the top because all the muscles are gonna help you pull yourself up. That's fight or flight. Being in the gym means the opposite. We're trying to do the opposite. We want to fight. Now I'm not saying when things get hard, you get off your set and punch somebody in the face. I'm saying you wanna make sure that you understand that when things get difficult and your body's sending all the cues of discomfort, pain, whatever, and your body wants to say, I'm done doing reps or curl up in a ball and figure a way out, you're going to say, I'm gonna get good form. I'm gonna have my good setup. I'm gonna be aligned properly. I'm gonna gauge my core so when I pull the weight down and it gets hard, I'm engaging the core still and staying up. My chest is gonna stay up the entire time. And then at the top of the lift, we're gonna work with a full range of motion, big all the way to top, and then again, pulling up and opening up. So points 3 and 4 happen because of your body's response to just doing what it's supposed to do and protect yourself. But in this manner here, we do know that at the end of the sets, when they start getting hard, now you know that you're eventually gonna start doing this. So what we're gonna do is to not do that, is be aware of those things, which is slowing your rep down and making sure we're doing our full range of motion, which is gonna bring us, segue us into the last point, which is full range of motion. Most of all these things happen when the range of motion isn't full, or your technique with your full range of motion isn't optimal. So, I'll give you an example. Everything's good by now. We're gonna rewind. Johnny, got your tips. I got the setup. I got the flight or fight response system. All that good shit. I'm good. I'm active. Full range of motion, full to core, chest is up, core engaged. My boys over there right there punching me in the stomach, but I got you, dog. What's up? Hit me in the stomach, sucker. And then you sit there and you're like, and you're going fast, and all of a sudden, why is your form messing up? Why are the weight's too much, and you're only going to here because your body's only used to pulling maybe 2 plates only to this range, and you're missing the mark. One of the biggest mistakes is full range of motion, and why? Because the biggest part of the lift that's gonna give you the most amount of growth, the most amount of muscle recruitment is going to be when you're hanging off the top of the cliff and you need to just keep this thing stretched. This is your full range of motion, the top. The bottom of the lift is when your shoulders adduct to the side and pull all the way straight down. Here's where I am. This is your full range. Here's a contraction at the bottom, and at the top, up, and then here's your full range. Right? There's a stretch under a load on my lats. My lats are screaming and pulling back as I'm fully extended, and then pulling down again, controlling the weight up. And the only way to be able to do this is to make sure all the other steps are taken care of. You're set up. Shoulders back away from your ears and your core is engaged. So guess what? I should be able to do this and this, not this and this. Core is engaged. And then keeping the shoulders depressed. We don't want our traps involved in this at all. So the chest is gonna stay up, core is gonna be engaged. I am solid as a rock from floor to core. And then I perform my lift, pulling down, controlling the weight up, 2, nice stretch, pulling down again. Big stretch, pulling down again, controlling it up. It's easier to avoid all of those mistakes by just slowing down your rep, paying more attention to what you're doing, engaging your core, and obviously setting things up the proper way. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. To make your pull-downs more optimal, make sure we avoid those 5 common mistakes. And when it comes down to it, in the end, make sure you leave your ego at the door, and then that's gonna help you avoid picking up too much weight. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you did, and you wanna see more videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. Also, make sure you put these gains to use, but grab my ebook, The Final Diet, right now is gonna help you either maintain, put on muscle, lose fat in a sustainable way. Grab it now, link in the description below. Anyway, till next time, guys, binge watch my videos. You know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.